Welcome back to Inside Politics. Our guest today is the person who would soon be the Speaker of the House of Tennessee, Glen Casada. Speaker Casada, you and the governor-elect live in the same county. I don't think he's your constituent, but the governor-elect's from that county. The senator-elect, Marsha Blackburn's from that county. Perhaps the soon-to-be Senate Majority Leader, Jack Johnson, if he's elected, he'll be in that county. Is there something in Williamson County that gives you all these leadership positions from that county?
We are a fast-growing county, and it's just it's kind of the tradition of Tennessee. If you look back on the history of Tennessee, leadership over the years have come from specific locations. West Tennessee just a few years ago, and the governor and the two speakers were from adjoining counties in West Tennessee, or neighboring counties, if you will. So it's historical but cyclical to some degree.
It
does seem cyclical. It does.
How well did you know Bill Lee before he ran for governor?
I did. I did know Governor Lee now before he ran. I sure did.
Were you asked to play any role in his primary or in the general election campaign?
No, I didn't. And
I know you had to run as well.
Yes, I had my election, and then I had the speaker's election, and so I did not.
So now that he's governor-elect, is it fair to say your relationship is still in formation?
No, he and I have been friends for years, and I'm excited for the Lee administration to support him.
The governor-elect made his first appointments this past week, including his finance commissioner, Stuart McWhorter. Now, the finance commissioner, as you know, is the first among equals in the governor's cabinet, and he's also a key liaison with the General Assembly. Do you know Mr. McWhorter?
I do.
What are your thoughts about his selection?
Stuart's a sharp fella, very successful businessman, and I look forward to working with him. I think he's in the right spot for Tennessee.
He is keeping two other commissioners. I think Danielle Barnes in the Human Services and Marie Williams, who's in Mental Health and the Substance Abuse Department. Are those good choices based on continuing their work under what they've been doing under Governor Haslam? Are those key departments to keep on track?
They are, and especially Commissioner Williams. Pat, I feel strongly that's the next area to address in Tennessee is mental health, and there's no one better poised and trained to lead that in Commissioner Williams.
You've mentioned mental health earlier in the interview. What specifically do you think you and the governor want to address in legislation for that this term?
All things are done in baby steps, if you will, but we need to address those that cannot fend for themselves. If you're healthy, you need to work. If you suffer from a debilitating disease where you can't function or you're a danger to yourself or to others, Tennessee needs to prepare a place where you can get a bed and you can get help, and that's what we need to do.
There's talk that other current commissioners may be retained. That's happened before under previous governors, but this is the first time, I think, in Tennessee history that a Republican governor has been succeeded by a Republican governor.
Exactly
so we may see more of that just because the party identities are the same?
Well, that and I think Governor Lee and Governor Haslam will be pretty much in continuum, and I think you'll see this. It's the same agenda, and so it would be logical to keep those that would help would fill that role.
So far, Governor-elect Lee's top staff appointments, and along with his finance commissioner, all played major roles in his campaign. Are you still expecting more outreach, for that matter, within the Republican Party? So far, all of his appointees among most of the people have been people that were very close to him in his campaign, and not anybody that perhaps supported other people for the Republican nomination.
I think it's logical that your initial picks, your key picks, your inner circle are those that you've grown to trust and that have proven themselves. But you will see him branch out to get all wings of not only Republicans, independents, and probably a few Democrats too.
The Democrats did pick up one seat in the House. They're still a pretty small minority in there. You can meet without having the Democrats there at all. You have a quorum to do that.
Yes, sir.
What do you see as their role? I don't imagine, will they have any chairmanships among subcommittees, perhaps?
You know, we'll look at that. That's to be thought through and discussed. But the political process in the United States is it's good to have two parties, and each side brings their ideas to the table. We vote, and the people, the electorate, decide who's right, who's wrong, and so that'll be a very important part of the discussions.
Do you know Karen Camper from Memphis, who is the new minority leader for the Democrats? What will be your role with her?
I know Karen well. We've worked well together in the past. We've called and congratulated each other in the past couple of days, and we're having our first sit-down next week.
Governor-elect Lee's new chief operating officer is Butch Ely. He's the chairman of his transition leadership team as well and was active in his campaign. It's not mentioned in his bio that's been released by the Lee campaign, but Ely was once a top aide to Democratic Congressman and Nashville Mayor Bill Boner. Is that a possible issue for you or any of your members because of his ties with the Democratic Party?
I tell you, Pat, if it was, we'd be in trouble. Because, and I tell you why, because Tennessee just a few years ago was a Democratic state, and the Tennessee citizens have left the Democratic Party and become Republican. So Mr. Ely is just par for the course.
Let's move into some issues that may be legislation. The governor had talked a lot during his campaign about wanting to create a student voucher program for K-12 students in Tennessee. Such a pilot plan has passed at least a couple of times, I believe, in the state Senate, but never gotten very far at all in the House. Why not?
It's a lot of the rural Republicans don't realize that this does not affect them. What the governor's proposing would affect those children going to failing schools. And I like that. Let's think outside the box. We've got yet another generation.
So it won't be a general voucher program. Is that what Governor Haslam proposed as well in his pilot program, or is this going to be a little bit broader even with Governor Lee?
Well, what I think you'll see, Pat, is something more narrow in scope, just to help.
Just those who are going to failing schools. Well, most of those would be primarily in schools in Nashville and Memphis. That's where most of the failing schools are.
Predominantly, that's correct. But we can't lose those kids. And we got to do something different.
So the rural school boards don't need to worry that they're suddenly subsidizing the creation of private schools in their counties, which I think was one of the major problems that House members were hearing from school board members and others within their districts. Glen Casada is our guest. He's going to be the new Speaker of the House for the state of Tennessee when the legislature convenes in January. Back to continue our conversation with the Speaker after this break.